Presiding Officer, let me, like others, thank Adam Tompkins for creating the opportunity for having this evening's debate. I've previously participated in similar ones. And it's as well to remember that the Holocaust was not a singular event, but was the aggregation of millions of decisions to execute millions of people who had committed no crime. The world's legal systems have worked hard over the decades since 1945 to deliver justice for the missing millions, their families and friends. But that cannot on its own be enough. We cannot undo the injustice done by the Nazis. We cannot restore life and liberty to those from whom such basic rights were removed by the Nazis. We simply cannot reset the world that was destroyed by them. But we can remember those who lost to the Holocaust. I have that tiniest of personal connections. The last sentences passed at the Nuremberg trials were on the 30th September and 1st of October 1946, where the remaining, those who were found guilty, were due to be hanged on the 16th of October. That was my first full day on this planet. And indeed, Hermann Göring beat the hangman by committing suicide on the very day that I emerged from my mother's womb on the 15th of October. We have to use the example of the Holocaust to remind our contemporaries of the injustices that came from that and to educate new generations of the dangers of demagoguery designed to characterize ethnic or religious difference as somehow less worthy. The theme of 2018, being the power of words, is a fine choice because it was words that created the Holocaust when Adolf Hitler was sitting in prison writing Mein Kampf. It was the words that would lead to the Holocaust. We can prevent, to some extent, with our words and the words of others, our repetition. Because words can lead to action. It can be good, it can be bad. Adam Tompkins reminded us that our business as politicians depends on words, and the meanings that we ascribe to them and the use that we put to them are important. Our most important words may be those that we deploy when we defend those with views with whom we disagree, when we defend their right to be different from us. Democracy depends on diversity, and so does society's future. Those who lost their lives in the Holocaust were not an undifferentiated group. Each was an individual of worth. Each had individual views and potential. Each could disagree with his or her neighbour as we do with each other in this place. My personal visits to Auschwitz thus far have been vicarious. The good work of the Holocaust Education Trust features regularly in the media. Founded in 1988, its good work in taking school students to the site is highly valued by those who participate in their programme. For me, the most important visit that I've made, it was via the TV series The Ascent of Man, which was written and presented by Jakob Bronowski and broadcast in 1973, a year before he died. And that took me to Auschwitz. Now, Bronowski was born in 1908 into a Jewish family at Łódź, a couple of 100 kilometres north of Auschwitz. 45 years on from his film series, the profound effect of him at Auschwitz, walking slowly towards the camera, pausing, leaning down to scoop mud into his hand from a puddle, and then looking at the mud and saying in a quiet voice, "This is my family." That remains with me and will never leave me. Because personal experience speaks directly in a way that our debate today, worthy and necessary as it is, simply cannot match. And that's why we must see each generation relearn the lessons of Nazi bigotry. That's why visits can communicate and embed by experience the message of history in students supported by the Trust. That's vital if we believe that this should never, ever happen again. And we do.